Now, I might be preaching to the choir here, but non-Mario sports games for the most part kinda suck. There are exceptions, sure, I mean, that's what this section's for. Mario has dabbled in just about everything at this point. There's no reason you have to settle for a run-of-the-mill sports title when chances are there's a perfectly good Mario-based alternative.
PGA Tour? Just tee off in Mario Golf. NHL? There's ice hockey for Mario Sports Mix for the Wii. MLB The Show? Mario Superstar Baseball already knocked it out of the park. Topspin? What's wrong with Mario Tennis Ultra Smash? Okay, don't answer that. And who in their right mind would play NBA 2K when Mario Slam Basketball is a thing? Coming from a part of the world where EA rake in more cash through microtransactions than the GDP of some countries, it's odd. Though I've never quite got the appeal, I admit life would be simpler. One game a year and a credit card. Instead, I buy game after game trying to find the time to sit down and actually play through the damn thing before the next one releases. Alphabetizing plastic boxes to numb the sense of dread that I'll be dead and gone before I'm able to play half of these.
The modern world is just too much. I long for simpler time, like the 18th of November 2005.
The day Next Level Games cracked the code and made a good football game, kicking off the Mario Strikers series with Super Mario Strikers, or Mario Smash Football as it's called here in Europeland.
You can tell it's a football game the way they include the word football in each of the titles in case someone lifts it off the shelf thinking,
"No way! They made a Mario water polo game?" Let's just start this up and... Jesus Christ. Mario Smash Football is a delightfully chaotic twist on five-a-side football with more grievous bodily harm. You pick a team captain, get 3 identical sidekick characters, and a critter goalkeeper. The roster is pretty lean with 8 captains and 4 sidekicks. There is a secret unlockable character though, a renowned fan favourite. It's the robot we all know and love from this very game. All the characters feel the same to play. They seem pretty interchangeable with no noticeable stat differences like speed or shooting. The only practical difference is the likelihood of getting certain items that match their playstyle. And honestly, I didn't even notice this in my time playing it, only afterwards when I read about it online.
speaking of items, it's got items.
It spices up matches with your typical array of Mario items, all doing pretty much what you'd expect them to do. Shells, bananas, mushrooms, bombs, chain chomps. You can get items for making shots on target, so you can get a nice bit of momentum playing offensively. Use them to create space for yourself to charge up a super strike, get the timing right, and you're more likely to score 2 goals and see a cool animation. The ability is limited to the team captain, unless you're the team of identical robots, any of whom can do a super strike. Defensively, you can use slide tackles to get possession of the ball back, or big hits that send opponents flying, whether they have the ball or not. They can even be stunned for a few seconds if you knock them into the electric fence enclosing the pitch, just like in real football. But being too tackle happy on players without possession gives items to the opposing team to discourage overly aggressive playstyles, tackling everyone in sight, rather than playing for possession, even though it can be useful from time to time. The electric fence also means the ball is always in play. There's no corners, throw-ins or goal kicks, so the pace is nice and snappy with no breaks in the action until someone scores. Or, well, pauses the game, I guess, that too. Stadiums all play the same too, just with different looks to them. The only difference, it seems, is the capacity for how many cardboard cutouts they seat. There isn't really any stage hazards either, except for Bowser appearing at random intervals to set fire to whoever's nearby, but that can be turned off to your liking.
There isn't really that much to say. I like that it's a football game that doesn't take itself too seriously. The personality that Next Level puts into the characters is great. It's super easy to pick up and play, but overall it's a fairly bare bones experience.
But its main achievement was laying the foundations for the definitive Mario football game, and one of my favourite games of all time. Alright, Mario Strikers Charged Football. Pretty self-explanatory, really. Mario et ses amis sont de retour... Alright, Mario Strikers Charged Football. Pretty self-explanatory, really. Mario and his friends are back on the football pitch, and now the challenge is even bigger thanks to the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. That's a challenge, alright. Mario Smash Football had attitude, Mario Strikers Charged had attitude with a capital A, and an X in there too somewhere. The aesthetic was just great. It took the already rough, early noughties cool vibe and just push the envelope that bit further. From the character design, the key art, it's just so edgy, which is perfect for me, an edgy teenager. Everyone's wearing armour, the football looks like it would be painful to kick. Bowser's got big metal claws for some reason, the critters are wearing muzzles, and everyone is pissed off all the time. Nobody's having fun. Except you, of course. Striker's Charge took the formula of Smash Football and improved literally every aspect. The base character roster was increased, making Bowser playable this time, as well as adding Bowser Jr., Diddy Kong and Petey Piranha as unlockables by winning cup tournaments in the Road to the Striker Cup mode. The number of playable sidekicks also doubled from 4 to 8, and now lets you pick a combination of any 3. Each of the characters have different stats for their playstyle, allowing you to tailor your team to your liking with different balances of shooting, defense, speed and new abilities. Super Strikes are dead. Long live Mega Strikes. Basically the same thing but more bombastic than ever. If your captain gets enough space on the field, use the timing meter to determine the number and speed of the shots on goal, letting you score up to 6 goals from a single Mega Strike. Sounds like bullshit, and well, it kind of is, just a little bit. When you're on the receiving end of a Mega Strike, it places you in the boots of your goalkeeper to make some saves using the Wii Remote pointer. It's cool to get the opportunity to stop some or all of the shots. It's really rewarding to get a clean sheet, especially on the fastest speed. Each captain also has a unique ability in the item pool to help offensive play and deal damage to nearby players. They work great to create space, allowing you to charge a Mega Strike. Apart from the more obvious ones, Mario gets big, Bowser shoots fire, Wario farts. Some of these are really cool. I like Petey's mudslinging, creating difficult terrain that slows players down. Waluigi makes an impenetrable wall of thorns behind him to cut off areas of the pitch, and Diddy Kong just straight up kidnaps people. While sidekicks can't pull off Mega Strikes, a full charge when shooting uses their unique skill shots, each with different effects that can stun nearby players and even the goalie. In the right conditions, using a skill shot can be a guaranteed goal or allow for an easy follow-up. In the first game, every character had identical moves to avoid tackles. A big improvement brought about in Charged is the unique deke moves to evade and counter defending players. These are tailored to the character's playstyle, with faster characters using mobility for jumping or teleporting a short distance, allowing you to cover more ground while evading defenders. Balanced characters using a more basic, shorter range juke, and slower ones being able to stun nearby defenders with the trade-off of remaining still while doing so. And they're all really well suited to the characters' playstyles and their personalities. Keeping the ball in play by passing between teammates and charging shots changes the colour of the ball, allowing for faster passing and more powerful shots the brighter it gets. The ball will lose some charge over time or if it gets stolen, but it can allow using a team's momentum against them if you get possession of a charged ball. It also augments some of the character's deke moves, adding significant distance onto their teleporting range, meaning that with the right positioning you can score by teleporting into the net, which is kind of broken, but I love it. Another notable improvement introduced in Charged was the stadiums on offer, mainly because they aren't functionally identical reskins. They actually impact the game through terrain and stage hazards. Whether it's slowing players running in mud or sand, there's slippery ice, gale force winds, the pitch can impact how your player controls in the field, and avoiding stage hazards like lightning, lava, thwomps, removing random characters from play periodically, or even avoiding cows and tractors flying across the pitch, it's just so much more fun to play. And if that's too much excitement for you, all of the stadiums from the first game are available if you want something a little more boring, but the option's always nice to have. Outside of pick up and play local domination mode, the main mode on offer is Road to the Striker Cup. 3 tournaments of increasing difficulty, Fire, Crystal and the Striker Cup. Completing each for the first time will unlock a new team captain and a stadium. You pick your team and lock it in until you win or get knocked out. And in the last tournament, I got eliminated a lot. It gets really tricky, the AI is pretty unforgiving, so after struggling to unlock Petey, you may never want to look at him again. And after matches, there's headlines in the Striker Times newsletter, giving mini write-ups of the match depending on the score or winning tournament awards, all on what looks like a DS Lite's bottom screen. It's a cute touch. There's also a challenge mode that throws you into a given scenario to achieve a set goal. Play a match without conceding a goal, win a match while being a few players down, or from a losing score with limited time left. It's fun to dive into and clear the challenges one by one, but after completing them all, I never really felt the urge to revisit it. And of course, Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. Online play was a huge deal as it was the first online multiplayer game released for the Wii in Europe. I hadn't played a massive amount of Wii games online back in its heyday, mainly due to pretty crappy internet at the time, but I had friends who were really into Strikers Online. The one time that they were the featured striker of the day on the online menu, it seemed like they could die happy. Of course, all good things must come to an end, and the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection service was put out to pasture back in 2014. But if you really want to relive the glory days, there are ways to access community-hosted servers for a bunch of Wii games, which is such a cool endeavour. Now, while Charged was a big step up from Smash Football in just about every way, and of course, once you achieve perfection, there isn't really anywhere to go. So the game remained one of those comfort games I pick up and play from time to time. It's a solid go-to for local multiplayer, and sigh to yourself thinking, they should make another one of these. And my prayers were answered during a Nintendo Direct in February 2022, when we got our first look at Mario Strikers Battle League. Mario Strikers Battle League Football, where the game was announced with a limited time first kick demo for Switch Online subscribers the week before launch. Then, after 15 long years, we were finally graced with one of my most long-awaited sequels to a resounding...
Yeah, I guess it's good, but...
My thoughts and feelings about the game remain conflicted. I was delighted to see it return. Some changes and updates felt like natural progression for the series, but others felt like a big step backwards. The core mechanics changed quite a bit, well, as much as they can change in a football game. And this is evident after a fairly lengthy tutorial. There's now a much greater emphasis on timing. Perfect passes and perfect shots increase passing speed and likelihood of scoring. Special charge shots, unfortunately, have also been done away with, so everyone has a default charge shot with a circle under your character to indicate optimal timing for charge shots, which can now also be aimed, a really nice addition. Sprinting makes a return from the first game, covering more ground but at the risk of losing possession. It's easier to intercept and cost stamina, indicated by the trail behind your character. It also introduced free passing, allowing you to aim ahead of your teammate who can run into the ball rather than kicking it straight to their feet. It's a staple for normie football games, I believe, but I definitely don't use it enough because I keep forgetting it's a thing. Tackles can be charged and show an arrow indicating the direction and strength, but it's visible to all players, so it introduces a level of strategy and mind games. You can fake charge a tackle to bait the opponent into dodging and then tackle when they're more vulnerable. Big hits and slide tackles were merged together. Instead, all tackles default into slamming into the other player unless you time it perfectly to pull off a slide tackle to get possession of the ball straight away. Or use the new team tackle to send your teammate flying into another player. They're quite tricky and situational, but it's very funny and rewarding when you manage to pull one off. And in one of the worst changes from Charged, everyone has a basic deke move again. No more teleporting, no more burrowing holes in the ground or throwing hammers. Do these guys even watch football? But timing factors in again. When executing a perfect dodge, you get a little speed boost to leave the defender in your dust. Friendship ended with Mega Strikes. Hyper Strikes are my new best friend. This is a pretty significant change. Most notably, you can't do them willy-nilly anymore. A glowing orb appears in the field, again, very much like real football. If you get the orb, your team glows and you have 20 seconds to use it or lose it. No longer a captain ability, any teammate can do it as long as they have enough time and space to charge the shot. Because of the narrow window, the opposing team becomes super defensive, so pulling one off is easier said than done. Evasion and items are key to get the space. You're quite vulnerable while charging. Time slows down and the opponent has a narrow window to get a tackle in to stop it. If you're interrupted, the orb is used up and you'll have to get another one to try again. Great job, you f***ed it. The timing meter has 2 inputs to determine how good the shot is, but scoring has gone back to 2 goals, scrapping the 6 goal shots from Charged, and probably for the best too. It was always a little bullshit. But the animations are as cool as ever, and a shot on goal triggers some mad button mashing from the goalkeeper to try to save the shot. Meanwhile, players can position attackers and defenders around the goal all while this is going on, so even if Boom Boom makes a save, you can get a follow-up while they're stunned. Team compositions got a pretty big mix-up. Now your team can be any 4 characters, so the dedicated roles of captains and sidekicks are no more. I thought I'd prefer this going into it, but after a while I ended up missing the old dynamic. Apart from the obvious why are there 2 Marios thing, I think I just preferred the team dynamic of the captain's special abilities and the sidekick skill shots, rather than 4 characters who all do the same things. But I can absolutely understand if people prefer it this way, even if they're wrong. I thought it would give more options for teams, but the game launched with a measly roster of 10 characters. Even after 3 post-launch updates introducing new characters, the roster is still smaller than that of Strikers Charged. Battle League has more individualised stats for the characters, with 5 categories that influence their playstyle: strength, speed, shooting, passing and technique. The new gear system lets you tinker with these to your liking. Each item increases one stat while having a corresponding penalty to another. Playing characters without gear is perfectly viable, but if there's a character who's not as strong as you'd like, throw on a helmet and a pair of gloves to let them win tackles, no problem. Or maybe you want to focus on min-maxing a few stats, playing to their strengths even more, so a character you wouldn't ordinarily pick can fit into your team composition with ease. The level of customization is great, and the gear can look as cool or as ridiculous as you want. I just wish it was easier to swap out gear in the character select screen to make trying new things more streamlined, kinda like Mario Kart, or allowing you to save presets for each character to swap between. It feels like a no-brainer quality of life change that could have been included in one of the several post-launch patches, but considering when the last major update was, I wouldn't hold my breath. Like all the previous installments, the characters really pop on screen with some next level animation work. Next level, get it? Across each of the games, next level make each character feel so full of personality, even with no real dialogue except for the usual Mario game soundbites. The animations for intros, winning, losing, scoring and conceding goals, interactions between teammates, everyone is brimming with personality, making characters you might normally consider boring in other games become so damn likeable and charming. The individual character themes in the soundtrack are nice too, and while you can definitely tell whose theme is whose by listening to them, they're all a very similar heavy rock vibe, as is all the stage themes and even the menu music, so though the soundtrack is good, it's just a bit samey considering what came before it. And it would be difficult to follow up from Charged, where the music was just sublime. It was so varied, with each character having musical themes with their own genres that perfectly matched their personality. So much so that the music nearly feels as important as the animations in their characterizations, so yeah, not to say that Battle League's soundtrack is bad by any means, but Charged was just on another level. Battle League's item changes are another one that I really liked and felt was overdue. Items are now found in question mark blocks, Mario Kart style, as the crowd throws them onto the pitch. Each team's item boxes are colour coded, and there's rainbow blocks that are up for grabs by anyone. The items on offer were streamlined, with basic single red and green shells rather than a big single one, multiple smaller ones, or spiked varieties, which felt a bit convoluted in previous games. Chain chomps got scrapped too, which is a bit of a bummer, but overall the item changes I can get behind, I like it. Cup battles are the main progression mode, so to speak. 5 cups with teams specialising in the different stats on offer, followed by a championship cup. Once you beat them all, do it all again on Galactic mode with a greater CPU difficulty. All the cups are tournaments with a winner and loser bracket, so basically 2 losses and you're out. But if you're put out, you can use coins to replay a match. Kinda goes against the spirit of the game when I remember how many times I had to restart the Striker Cup in Charged. That isn't to say I didn't use it, I mean, come on, some of us have work in the morning. Cup battles feel more basic. I much preferred the group and knockout stages of Charged. The little Striker Times updates and awards gave them some character as well. Teams have generic names now that there aren't captains, and I just didn't feel the kind of rivalry like I did in Charged, like, oh no, I lost to the Red Rockets, as opposed to, oh Waluigi again, f that guy, he beat me 5-0 in the group stages. Online play has your pick up and play versus matches, or the new Strikers Club, where you can team up with your friends. My club is just me though, so my opinion probably isn't worth much here. Most of my time online was quick matches, but my time playing Strikers Club was odd. Your team's roster is impacted by who your club members select for their character, and since it's just me, my options were fairly limited. Even still, customising parts of your club stadium is kinda neat, even if most are fairly minor tweaks. My biggest problem with Battle League Online is that it's limited to 2v2. Online 4v4 matches was such a missed opportunity, like come on. Especially since you can do it locally. 8 players on one Switch. The closest I got was like 6 players, but it was still great. The more the merrier. Except in online play. The merriment cannot exceed 4 people on 4 separate consoles. One of Battle League's gimmicks is the mix and match stadiums. Each team picks their own half. Seeing them emerge through portals to make the mashed up stadium in the little cinematic at the start of matches is pretty cool, at least for the first few times you see it. The only problem is that's the only twist that they have for the stadiums. None of the stage selections impact the gameplay at all, and it's probably the biggest step backwards from Charged. All the pitches are functionally identical with a different skin, everything just plays the same. I guess I could see Next Level may have been trying to promote a more competitive experience, but it feels like playing Smash Bros with that one friend who always insists on Final Destination 3 stock no items. Sometimes I want random bullshit in my games. It's understandable if they wanted to keep that competitive element for the likes of ranked seasons for the Strikers Club Online, but for local or online quick play, I don't see why we couldn't have some of the cool older stages as an option at least. Especially when Charged had an assortment of regular pitches and a healthy dose of random bullshit. Updates added new stadiums and characters, but not much else. It didn't really address any of the main problems that I had with the game. The core gameplay is solid, even if there is elements of the previous games I prefer.
The crazy, frantic nature of the game, while certainly still there, feels like it's been toned down. I appreciate that Next Level maybe wanted to try new things, and Battle League does feel like a more competitive, skill-based game, but some of the changes just brought the experience down for me, especially since Charged holds such a special place in my heart.
Even still, it's a solid game at its core, and in my opinion, while it might fall short of the series peak, some of the changes and improvements felt like a natural progression and even overdue in some cases. Though I hadn't got much mileage out of the online, the larger numbers for local multiplayer is a lot of fun in a group, so I'd say it still earns its place on the shelf.